Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Awkward Question Time. Please welcome your host, Alex Leam.
Hello, and welcome to Awkward Question Time with me, Alex Leam, the show where I take a panel of 4 comedians and subject them to an hour of increasingly awkward and stupid questions. Last week, for example, we had some beauties like, would you stroke Thor's hammer? How many chickens does it take to kill an elephant? And also the real head scratcher, which was, what would you buy at a supermarket to really worry the cashier? Turns out, 7 cucumbers is the answer. Last week's video is still available to go and watch, so please do check it out. Usual show tonight, however, just a few changes. I am away this weekend, so we're not live. So we're recording this on the Friday night. We're doing it as live, and then we're going to be putting it out at 8:30 on Sunday. So normally now I'll be saying, submit your questions for the panel. More cringe, the better. So don't, because we're not live. Your votes won't be counted, but you may still be charged. However, if you are watching, live or not live or however, then please do still give us a share, retweet, or subscribe on YouTube. I'm not going to stand in your way. And if you're watching on one of those, then go and like and subscribe to one of the others, please. My Facebook page is at Alex Leam Stand Up. Follow me on Twitter at Alex Leam, or search Alex Leam on YouTube. Normally at this point, I would say, if you're watching the replay, let us know where and when you're watching and what are you doing. But it's sort of reverse this week because we're not live, but it's going out pre-recorded at 8:30. So what I would like you to do is, if you are watching at 8:30 on Sunday the 25th, leave a comment, safe in the knowledge that I get, if enough multiple notifications, it will bug the hell out of me and wherever I am on Sunday night. In fact, there's a real strong possibility you could wear my battery down on my phone. So with that in mind, pork away. And if you want to donate to the show, then please do. Not going to stand with you on that either. Donate via PayPal, paypal.me/Alex Leam, and Ko-fi, or Coffee, however it's pronounced, I don't know, Ko-fi.com/Alex Leam. So, going to bring in our panel in no particular order. Please welcome Sam Serrano, Callum, Jarvis, Ellis, Jarvis, Jones. It's all there anyway.
Many names.
And Mary Flanigan, welcome to you all.
Hello, everyone.
Right. So Callum, Ellis, Jarvis, Jones. I will get the right. I will get the right way.
Don't even worry about the Ellis. That's like a bonus name. You can use that if you want to, or just.
Oh, so a bit like as Graham has said before, a bit like a meal deal. You don't really want the drink, but you think sod it. It's there.
It's like the Twix of middle names, is it?
I was going to say it's like the carrot sticks of middle names, where you're like,
oh, see, I'd much rather have the carrot sticks. Okay.
Oh, really?
Carrot,
yeah,
carrot sticks and hummus.
See, Tesco meal deal is the only time I eat any vegetables or fruit, for that matter. So
fair enough.
Right, Mister, there, inching closer to death. There we go.
It's like you've known him for years. Amazing.
Thankfully, I got a lot of my my vegetables when I was younger due to all the free school meals I used to get. Boom, we're in straight away. Topical one.
Don't be too topical. The way things are going at the minute, by Sunday night, all of this could be dated.
Yeah,
so let's get the topical to a minimum. We do have viewer questions which have been submitted beforehand from some of our regular viewers, so they'll be popping up like normal. We do accidentally have a live audience member in the fact that Sam's girlfriend is in the room with him.
Yes.
So she wasn't expected to.
I forgot she was coming down when I said I'd do this. But yeah, she's sat there, so she'll be judging me.
What's your girlfriend's name, Sam?
She's called Rachel.
Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hello. Feel free to heckle us.
Yes, please heckle.
We'll crack on then with our first question, which is, what am I doing this weekend that means I can't do the show live? Wrong answers only.
Satanic Mass.
Whoa, okay, straight out of the tractor. Satanic Mass from Mary. Is there something particularly demonic that strikes you about me? That makes you say?
No, I think it's quite the reverse. In fact, I think that you seem like a calm, ordinary man, and of course, beneath that calm, ordinary surface lurks the sort of person who might sacrifice some smaller animals and/or people. And I think also it's a confusing time. I think everyone's looking for guidance. I think people are like flocking back to religion for answers in a very, a whirlwindy kind of time. So I think that you might have been raised within the Church of Satan, walked away from it as an adult, and maybe this weekend you're like, you know what, I'm going to go to the Satanic Mass, and I'll maybe just see if I remember any of the words to the songs, and I'll see whether I'll maybe get that feeling of togetherness that I had like as a child. I think that's what it is.
Where has this whole backstory come from? That was pretty.
Do you know what? I was nodding along, but going, oh yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds plausible. So whilst I ponder the Church of Mistopheles, Graham, what do you reckon I'm up to this weekend?
Are you going to an actual puppet workshop so that people stop metaphorically referring to you as the puppet master? When I say people, I mean me and Adam. Money.
Okay, the puppet master. So you see me as more of a Dominic Cummings sort of.
Well, maybe. You just like to be in control of things, don't you? So I figured, why not practice it for real?
He says on my show, yeah. Thus proving your point somewhat. So in a completely non-in-charge way, I'm going to say, Callum, your thoughts, no pressure.
Yeah, apparently so. Are satanic hymns just Slayer songs, by the way? I feel like that's what they'd be.
There's a hymn book I'd like to see come and praise.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
God really does hate us all. Wow, really makes you think. Are you going to a particularly well-distanced country fete and picking up on your Facebook post that I saw, dressing up as Matt Hancock to be put in the dunking pool? If for anyone that didn't see this post, because since the last show I shaved my beard off in a fit of pique. I don't know why. I just thought I'll shave it off, but then I thought, why shave?
I regret it because I thought, shit, I look like Matt Hancock. So I took a selfie and then spliced a picture of Matt Hancock in there as well. So if you can see that.
Wow. That is unfortunate.
You look the spit of him.
So one of my favourite comments on this week was, yeah, you do look a bit like him, but there's still life behind your eyes. So don't worry.
You should try and sneak into the House of Commons before him and see if you can get his £300 a day paycheck.
I do have a blue suit. I just need the NHS pin badge and look like I'm about to cry. And somebody said you got to start doing Matt Hancock spoofs. So I thought,
the problem with your blue suit is though is covered in clouds, isn't it?
No, different suit.
Different suit,
now that you said that,
I've
got a feeling I've got to go to the wardrobe and get that out.
Oh my god!
So Sam, what am I up to this weekend?
Are you retraining like Rishi Sunak told you to do so because comedy is not a viable job anymore?
Yes, a weekend course.
Yes.
So what do you suppose I've plumped for? I think I'm retraining as
a circus ringmaster. I always get that vibe off you. I think you'd suit a top hat and just abusing animals. I reckon you could be a circus ringmaster, definitely.
I love the themes and the threads that's run through everybody's answers. Loves being in control, loves shafting animals. That's the two things that's gone around that. I feel
like ringmaster and puppeteer are quite similar too.
Yeah.
I know this is my first time.
Thank you for backing me up there, Sam. Appreciate it.
I had a feeling you two would hit it off, yeah.
You could wear the cape behind you. What's the gold
He's
cape?
got a glittery sequin jacket.
Yeah. You could definitely wear your cloud suit and then you're basically a circus ringleader. That'd be fun.
Okay.
There you go.
Right. I'll just dig out the suit because it's in the wardrobe here. You guys carry on for a second. I'll go get the suit.
Okay, I'm going to.
So, hey, what about airline food?
My housemates are about to order Chinese food, and I need to get in on this order. So give me just. Hi, so I'm doing a podcast at the minute. So I'm just going to try and because I can't type this out.
Ordering.
Should we judge?
Better be salt and pepper chips.
I'm going to have to take the headphones off. You guys are distracting me from my order.
That suit is incredible.
Amazing.
Alex, don't bother. Just wait. There's a Chinese on order here.
Black bean sauce with egg fried rice. Thank you.
That is.
Sauce. Black bean sauce.
I'm fascinated by that suit.
Thank you. I've not put the matching trousers on. I've just gone for the jacket. But it's a happy accident that it suits my jumper t-shirt combo as well.
That is. So. Do you have trousers that have cloud on as well?
Yes, I do. They match.
Where did you get it from?
Alex,
yeah, you're right, Mary.
I just wanted to apologize for being on my phone briefly. It's just the trying to order a Chinese. I'm not going to be on it now again anymore. I just
that's all right.
Get dinner. Right. I'm so hungry.
Normally about this point it gets really random, so that's really good with the show. So
cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Loving the suit. What did I order?
I will keep this
one pound king prawn black bean sauce, egg fried rice, prawn crackers.
Will it get here before the end of the show?
I don't know. I don't know when they're going because my house.
The clouds on your suit look a bit like prawn crackers.
Oh yeah. Are you also hungry, Sam? Because
yeah.
Is it the thing of just everything sort of look like chicken wings?
Yeah. Is my head turned into a bit of bacon?
I'm vegan, so it's turned into a piece of jackfruit.
Oh, that suits me. Looks great. Actually has no taste. That suits me. On to a viewer submitted question. So this is a regular watcher/contributor, Katie Brown, who wants to know, which would you rather do for the rest of your life? Pick your nose and eat it, or cupcake yourself? Thankfully, she gave the definition, which is catch your fart in your hand and sniff it. So while you ponder this one out, and purely because he's killing himself laughing, Graham, your thoughts. We'll go to you first.
I'd probably do both because I'm still like 5. So
I mean, exactly. Like, why choose? You know, this is just why not both?
I mean, they're both terrible. So just go with it. Why not?
I've reached the age where I've got a higher quantity of nasal hair with whatever comes out of my nose now. So it's like it's going here, but thickening here. So right. I would probably go for the cupcake in just because my sinuses are pretty crap anyway. I can't smell that much.
Just because it's sufficiently awkward, I pulled a nose hair out of my nose the other day, and I swear to God, it was longer than one of my pubes. It was.
We're missing a very important piece of information. How long are your pubes? That's not that impressive.
Shorter than my nose hair.
Awkward.
Circular logic happening there. Yes. How long is a piece of string? How long is a bit of nose hair? How long is a pube?
I don't know. It was like there's no real perspective here, is there? Because if I do that looks like worse than I don't know.
Well, luckily we all know the size of your head, so
yeah.
Work on that.
Okay. Well, I don't think there could be possibly anything else that's added to that, so we'll move on to the next question. This one was inspired by something that Callum said earlier tonight on the group chat, because we have a group chat of whoever's going to be on the show, which is, what would you rather have happen? Forget how to sit down or forget how to say yes?
Ooh. Interesting.
Is that just the word yes, or can we go multilingual? Can I still hit it up with a ya, see?
You would run the risk of looking pretentious.
I'm from Yorkshire, and I'm middle class. People think that already.
Fair enough. So I say it's every possible English version of saying yes.
Could you say I agree with that, or if someone is like, "Did you do that?" Could you say I did that? Like, could you reply using the affirmative version of the verb?
Yeah, do you have to be like in a call center where it's like, you can only you got to be really positive, like, oh, absolutely, I can certainly do that for you.
I mean, the thing is, forgetting how to sit down would kind of suck. Now, this is I'm going to offend your huge German audience, Alex, but there is a German word that means literally the good feeling of sitting down. Like it's one word, and it's something like gemütlich, and it is just like, and people use it for like when you. Thank you so much, danke schön.
Bitteschön.
Bitteschön.
That's it. That's all I've got.
You to not be able to have that feeling, to not be able to just enjoy sitting the fuck down, that would be tough. That would be really tough.
They've got a similar word for when you take your shoes off after a long day of work. It's a similar sort of feeling, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I just made that up.
This suddenly feels like QI. This is amazing. I'm enjoying learning.
Learning is fun.
It can
it's
be
like
fun.
interactive Duolingo.
Yeah. Best Udemy course you've ever been on.
I think you could use the forgetting how to say yes to your advantage, though. Like if someone goes, "Oh, do you want to come watch my daughter's dance cycle?" No, go fuck yourself. That's very. Oh no, I don't know how to say yes. So I would say yes, but I end up saying no. Go fuck yourself. That sounds shit.
So would you also say yes? Go fuck yourself. But you would have said yes. Go fuck yourself. But you forgot how to say yes, so you've said no. Go fuck yourself. Like you include the whole sentence in that. Okay.
Yes.
Would you want to come and see this play? Yes, go fuck it. Like that's okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You carry a little laminated card like Joaquin Phoenix in Joker, saying "Excuse my condition."
If you didn't, you should. Yeah.
Definitely work.
A friend of mine, I'm sitting with an English friend and an Irish friend. Another Irish friend came up and we were talking together. And then she goes away, and my English friend was like, "Do you notice that you and all the other Irish people that you've introduced me to say, instead of just saying yeah, you go yeah, and like repeat the word yeah like 50 like oh yeah, oh, no yeah. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. It was a pure like oral tick, a little linguistic bump in the like a catching the record, getting a record scratch that I was just totally unaware until someone pointed out. Oh yeah. Anyway, so I think I could like to forget how to say some of the yeses. I would like to forget enough of how to say yes that I could just say yes once, as opposed to saying yes 500 times.
If you could try saying like
like
CC.
Oh,
that works.
Oh,
that works. That rolls on.
Wait.
Nice. Anything else to add, anyone, before we go on to the next question?
Not a thing. Bring it on.
I definitely prefer sitting down to speaking in general. So I think that's
you'd vote for yes as well. Next viewer question from John Morris, who wants to know: would you rather live through 2020 again in its entirety, or spend a month solid watching a primary school production of Cats?
Well, this is so easy. This is an easy one. It's like, would you rather?
What would you go for?
Cats, of course.
Yeah.
Really? That's I 2020.
Okay.
I'm trained to be a primary school teacher.
Right.
Good point. Very, very good.
Victoria School. That's awkward because no one else lives in Bournemouth. They don't know what Victoria School is.
Just throwing out a hyper-local reference. Go on, son.
I should point out. I'm one of these. My disability is under the desk, so you can't tell that I'm making. Victoria School is a school for severely disabled children, and I have a form of cerebral palsy, and I went to that school very briefly when I was young, so that's why I made that joke. Yeah, but it's awkward because you can't tell because I'm sat down and
you sort of like. What you did there, you made a joke, then you cancelled yourself for the joke, then you uncancelled yourself, then and now we're kind of just. I'm just amazed. I'm amazed.
Yeah, try and get your head around that, woke people.
Kind of hold yourself then for a second.
I think that the production of Cats would be different every day. I'm not teaching them. I'm just watching it. And presumably, you're watching a production of Cats. Cats as a show, I think, lasts about 2 hours. So a month solid, you're either watching a bunch of different primary school children doing different versions of Cats, or you're watching the same class repeatedly put on Cats, in which case they might practice it so much they get quite good, or kind of create a new version of Cats through just making the mistakes and kind of embedding that into the narrative. I think from a dramaturgical perspective, it has to be Cats all the way. It would be fascinating to watch that.
That's true. Either that or by the end of the
Cats. There you go.
Yeah, the end of the month, the kids have gotten so withdrawn and depressed of having to do it again that they're having to sing "Memory" whilst crying.
Oh my God.
That would be interesting to watch as well. Just kind of like, no, I chose this. Sing it. Finish it.
Yeah. They go, memories all alone in the moon.
You do the kid voice as well. Oh no, it's really come to life now.
I do a day job as a Victorian orphan.
That's a real skill.
Yeah. Reduce, retain, recycle. Yeah. Please, sir, may I have some more? And then I just get thwacked in the face with a chimney. Sweet chimney with a chimney.
With a chimney. That's...
Yeah.
You're
She's
tough.
gonna look like with a chimney on her. Nice. Any more thoughts on this one? Personally, I would say I would live through 2020 again if I could have the knowledge that I have now.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
And then in January, invest several £1,000s into Zoom because the share price went through the roof for absolutely no reason, and start making PPE. So I think I'd do 2020 from scratch with prior knowledge. I'd be several million in by now.
That is a suspiciously very Tory answer.
Oh God, no, wearing blue.
How can I profit from this disaster? You scumbag!
Do you look like Matt Hancock?
Are you actually just Matt Hancock? Like, that's what it is.
He's embodying it now.
Yeah.
I've got to say, it's really great to have me on. No, not Matt Hancock, and string a sentence together on live TV. Not that this is live; it's pre-recorded. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Ironically, you couldn't spring that sentence together.
That's true. That's made a rod for my own back there. So we've got a possible podcast title: Accidental Tory.
Nice.
Accidental
Also,
Tory.
satanic hymn.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yes, that would make sense.
Satanic, but HIM. Yeah, satanic hymn? Question mark.
Yeah,
right, that's lovely.
Very, very good. I liked that.
Thank you. Right, any? Okay, it's either bandwidth or his disability.
Come on.
Sorry, I'll hold my hand out. So my bad.
Bad comedian. There you go.
Thank you. Next question, another one submitted from an audience member. This is from Damon Conlon, who wants to know, can ghosts get scared?
Yes.
Depends if they've got a ball and chain, and by that I mean wife.
Hey.
Oh,
hey, lads.
Graham, this is for you.
Yellow card. You have been warned.
Oh, I thought I was going to get a rim shot.
All right.
Thank you.
Wow. I believe that a ghost would be scared of a ghostbuster, for sure. Because we'll remember that the fear dynamic is, of course, reversed because they ain't afraid of no ghosts. But in that case, if I was a ghost, I would be scared of a ghostbuster. I think I'd also be scared of another scarier ghost. Like if I'm floating through a wall and I'm just like me with like maybe like a bit of blood on my face or whatever, and I'm like, woo, woo, woo. And then someone's like with like no eyes is like, and then I'm gonna be like, fuck, and I'm gonna float back. Do you know what I mean?
There's always a scarier ghost.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All of the incel ghosts won't be afraid of the 2016 Ghostbusters, though. They just actively hate them.
Wow.
I think it was basically the plot of the 2016 Ghostbusters anyway. I think, because if you're a ghost, then you've got unfinished business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then once it's finished, you fuck off. So you presumably would be like scared of not getting your unfinished business done. I actually think, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I think ghosts are probably more scared. They're like sharks. They're more afraid of us than we are of them. That doesn't work for sharks. That's why I said it was for sharks.
On that knowledge, maybe they're also afraid of getting it done. Maybe they're afraid of what comes next.
Now you said that, I'm expecting Discovery Channel to do Ghost Week instead of Shark Week.
I have some insight knowledge into this. I used to work in a theatre, and Derek Acora was performing at the theatre.
Wow. Oh, hello. Did you accidentally mute yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Derek. Got him.
Got him.
He made us turn all the lights off backstage, so we were all doing our work in the dark because he didn't want to frighten the ghosts away. So, from the man himself.
From the horse's mouth, no less.
Yes.
There you go.
Wow.
And also, before he went on, I went, have a good gig, mate. And he went, excuse me, it's not a gig, and it's an experience. So he's a bellend.
He was a bellend.
R.I.P.
And probably still will be. Imagine the poor soul that gets haunted by Derek Acora. on a slightly side note, do you think if somebody who in real life has a spirit guide, as Derek Acora did, wasn't a spirit guide called Sam?
Yes, every time in the show when he went, what's that, Sam? I'd go, I didn't say anything. And it happened every single time, and I never stopped laughing.
Rim shot for that, please.
Oh, God.
Come on.
Oh, different screen. Yeah.
Perfect.
If you die and have a spirit guide, do you retain your spirit guide in the other world, do you think?
Do you think if they made up, they would like get along? Like if they met up in the spirit world and Sam was like, all right, Derek, and Derek would like, oh, Sam, and Sam would be like, where's all the money? I've helped you get a load of money with all the tours and things. Where's my cut? I think it's quite awkward.
You've been putting fucking words in my mouth, Derek. I didn't say any of that.
Any of that shit. I didn't have a message for Lindsay from Buckinghamshire. I was just chilling.
I wanted salt and pepper chips, Derek. That's what I wanted.
Bit more of irony, like he's to haunt someone, but that person can't hear him. And then I think that would be quite funny.
Yeah.
Imagine a bit, like he spent a whole career communicating with the spirit world, and he comes back as a spirit, and no one can hear what he's saying.
He's just yelling at people, being like, "Your grandma's at peace," and they're like,
"Where's Sam when I need him? What's going on? What's happening?"
Derek Acora.
I'd watch that. That would be funny. I'd enjoy that show.
We could recreate that, just full screen you, Graham, and then just have Sam Serrano as your spirit guide, so all you'd hear is his voice. So if we full screen Graham, Sam, you send him some messages from the other realm. It's a solo layout.
Alex's suit looks awful.
Sam said that Alex's suit looks amazing, obviously.
Thanks, Sam.
He definitely said that.
He looks like a nonce.
He's still got a Bebo account.
Someone check his hard drive, please.
No!
Someone check his hard drive. He bought it off Ian Watkins.
Exit solo layout, and as if by magic, I
wish this was going out live now. It's a shame. Gotta try to edit that out.
It's not going out. Don't trust me. It's not been edited out. Everything that's said here is going to be going out Sunday Night Live.
Wow.
So I expect you to have this on your TV in the front room, Graham.
Yeah. Okay. Well, of course, I'm going to watch myself back. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Right.
You right there, Sam?
Sam's having a good time.
Another podcast title, perhaps? Yeah.
Sam Serrano's Spirit Guide is absolutely a podcast title.
I was going to say, don't call the podcast "I bought my hard drive from Ian Watkins." That's a terrible podcast title. It's not.
Second-hand hard drive is what I was going to put. A second-hand hard drive. So
39 terabytes.
Yes.
Anyway, let's not go there.
Deep breath before the next question. A deep breath before the next question. Okay, right. The next question is a show and tell question. So with this one, I will give you an instruction to go and retrieve something from your house, and then you will have 30 seconds to go to that room, retrieve it, bring it back, and tell us all about it. So you have 30 seconds to run to your bathroom, grab the first thing you see. I've just realised I've typed first wrong, and bring it back and talk about it. Okay, so is everyone clear?
Oh, this means I have to go upstairs.
Yeah, it's 30 seconds countdown. We're back. Are we all back? No, Graham's not back yet. We can just admire that tasteful print that he's got at the back of his room. Has everyone got something from their bathroom?
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so I'll start because I think you've had a little preview because I'm just trying to get it somewhere else on screen. I've got this, which is an oversized rubber duck.
You guys.
That's awesome.
There we go. This has come up on the show before about my tendency for impulse purchases when I'm in home bargains. And I do tend to buy oversized things for no other reason than it's there and I want it. So so this is my oversized rubber duck. It's never had a maiden voyage yet. It's just been there for decoration. So yeah.
That's good. That's aesthetically pleasing.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go if I may, just because I think I've got a nice sort of dichotomy to that. Because where you clearly like to feel like a small person, a Lilliputian, if you will, I have brought an interdental brush, which now and again I'll just put a little bit of toothpaste on, so I feel like a giant. Lovely and clean everywhere in my mouth. Also, you can just gently comb your beard with it if you want. Maybe put a nice perfumery on there and just
bit of wax.
Ladies, also makeshift like mascara. Oh, lost the mascara, bro. Interdental brush. Oh, hello. Oh.
This is starting to feel. Tool. This is starting to feel like Callum is on one of those late 80s infomercials.
Only $29.95 by Oral B. Oral B, the best in dental hygiene.
Well, I can wear mascara every day. Yeah, amazing. So, Graham, what did you get?
I found this random brush. I'm not really sure what it does. It's got a handle on it. I don't really understand why. Okay. And then I saw that it was from the Body Shop, and that explained it because their slogan should literally be, "We have no idea what any of this stuff does." But
it's organic and fair trade. So
yeah. So I assume it's good for the economy of third world countries and stuff. But I mean, all it does is fall off the side of the bath and make a really loud noise and shit me up when I'm in the shower. That's pretty much all it does. So there you go. That took 45 seconds. I hope you're pleased with yourself.
Massively. This is sort of like feeding into the puppet master tendencies that you were talking about earlier. I didn't realise I had so many issues, but still, we'll move on. Sam, what did you get?
So I wear makeup on pretty much daily basis. And I also live with my flatmate, who is a woman. And I always have an issue getting makeup
right, and I always like smudge it. So I was using this for ages, and I've now been told it is in fact a tampon, and I was using it for quite a while to get makeup off. Should also point out my flatmate is also my ex-girlfriend. So I would dab this to get it right and to blend.
It just keeps absorbing all the makeup. Where's it going?
Oh shit! I've broken it.
Uh-oh.
Fuck. That is the inside of a tampon. You can't really see because my light.
Wouldn't that be a great moment to find out that your ex was using that to keep her stash in the middle?
Oh yeah,
like a bag of green stuff that fell out. But I'd
put them back and she'd use them. There you
go. Still though, looking on fleek, I may say.
Rachel. Have I told
you were inadvertently putting foundation up your ex's.
Oh God!
What a world!
I'll say it, vagina. They just say it.
There was me thinking 7 weeks in, this show would run out of surprises, but no, it just keeps on giving.
Did you genuinely not know what it was?
Genuinely had no idea.
And you did it and you were living with a woman that you were in a sexual relationship with.
No, we what happened was I met her in September and was like, this person's perfect, and then signed a housing contract and then broke up with her 4 months later, and we're both too stubborn to move out.
You say in earshot of your current girlfriend. That's funny.
You're well aware of
that she's not perfect. Yeah. She's well aware that she's not perfect. Okay, good. Yes. As long as we're clear that.
Had you lived with women? I'm sorry. I just get like.
Yeah,
I'm stuck on the idea of not looking at something like that as a tampon. Like I think that's what's.
Because
hang on a second. Hang on, before we go any further, just because this feels like a this morning phone in, I'm just gonna put Mary on full screen so you continue talking to her like you're calling in from home. Okay.
Right. I just So you didn't know what it was, and you were like, this is a form of cotton bud that I'm using, and you were dabbing your makeup. You were like cleaning it off. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I grew up living with my mum, my 2 aunts, and my nan, and so I saw lots of these around the house, but I had no idea what they were, no idea whatsoever.
And you never thought to question it once?
No, because I just saw them in the bathroom and I was like, oh, it's just like
maybe this
there was loads of stuff I never used in the bathroom. I never used
the British sex education system.
100%. I never used that toilet brush thing either, but I didn't think they just shoved it up the vaginas. I had no idea. I had no idea what they were.
Sure. I mean, thing is.
Wait, who's shoving toilet brushes up their vaginas? You lost me there.
You don't know
for want of a better phrase, park that for a second.
Yes.
I
had no idea what they were.
Why? Why? So you were just like, oh, this is just her. She's got cotton pads there, and I'm just going to use them. Which, for a start, get your own cotton buds, buddy. You can buy them.
I asked. She kept them in her makeup bag, and I went, "Can I use this out your makeup bag?" And she went, "Yeah, use what you want." So I just kept using them.
Okay. And when did this come to light?
Because we'd not been living together long, so I'd only been doing this for a bit, and then it was her time of the month, and she went, "Sam, why are none of my tampons in the packets?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she went, "These." I was like, "Oh, I've been using them to blend my makeup."
I can't wait for your makeup tutorials on YouTube. It would be amazing.
I just enjoy that all the guys are laughing, whereas Mary is about to stab Sam in the face.
No. I'm not angry. I'm
Just
annoyed.
disappointed.
I'm not even disappointed. I'm just shook to my core. And
So was I.
This is a perfect time to use.
presumably, so in your very core. Well, I mean, I don't know how I meant to follow that. I have a nail brush. End up.
I forgot we were doing a thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I could use this as a knuckle duster, but like I could like cut like love or something in that. But you
Sounds
know,
like you were using
makeup
that the
with
whole
it.
time to clean off your makeup.
that's why my face is. I rub off a fine layer of epidermis. The best thing for cleaning off makeup is, I'm obviously you wouldn't put it on like a dry cotton bud, right? You would like just get a flannel, buddy. Just get a wee flannel. You can rewash it because it's easier. It's better for the environment. That's my bit over. I'm done.
So there we go. So
Coming up after the break.
Yeah. Wow. So the next question is, Sam, are you ready to move on for the next question?
Yes.
Yes, very much so. Next question. Out of all of tonight's panel, including host, who has a name that sounds most like a supervillain?
It's got to be Callum Jarvis Jones, surely.
It has, because it's nobody who doesn't want to take over the world. You know, if you want to take over the world, you're gonna have a 4-barreled name.
Yeah.
Do you want to know my full name?
Go for it.
Yes.
Samuel Benedict Peter Angus Serrano Roberts.
Oh, hello. Sorry, Callum.
Oh, no.
We've got a new ruler of the world.
No, but there's only a couple of certain. I don't know about that, because I think I mean Ellis sounds like a surname. I don't know.
Yeah. Is yours double? Because I'm half Spanish, so they pick.
So that's why you've got so many names.
They pick a middle name each, and you get both of their surnames as well. And I've got a confirmation name, so that's
Me
why I've got
too.
to mention.
Hey.
Woo.
My mum and dad just weren't married, and they couldn't be bothered with just one name. So
What's the confirmation name? When people go,
that's
"Is
the
your
best
name
line.
Graham?" I went, "Yes."
Yeah, confirming your name. No, so basically, when you're about 9 or 10, you get confirmed into the Catholic faith, and it's a sacrament. It's a little bit like your First Holy Communion, and as like a sign of being confirmed into the church, you take a saint's name. So my name was Mary Flanigan, and then after my confirmation, I was Mary Ann Flanigan. And like, because you're like 9 or whatever, like some kids are like, I'm going to be bad. And pick like Blaze, because there's a Saint Blaze and there's a Saint Xavier. I knew a guy who
Xavier, that's great.
a guy picked Judas as his saint's name. And the teacher was like, "Oh, excuse me." He's like, "No, miss, there's not a Judas who was an apostle. There was a St. Judas of Arimathea." And everybody was like, "Oh, I mean, obviously, like, you call him Tom or whatever. But anyway,
that was like Westwood Does Christianity. That was.
That's the energy I bring into every church going thing.
Understand that, my child.
When I put the little water in the baby's head, I'm like, "Get ready for the drop." Pull up. Yeah, I feel like all that. I'm thrilled.
I feel like I've missed a lot from the Catholic Church.
I'm ready to convert.
Go. Well, welcome. Mother Church welcomes you. Now I wonder. I don't think there is such. I don't think anyone has had a. I don't think there is Irish supervillains really. I think Flanagan. I sound too leprechaun-y.
The Leprechaun from the movie Leprechaun is a supervillain, surely.
Oh, holy shit! Much.
I mean, it's played by an Irish guy, but.
So in A Million Ways to Die in the West, I don't know if you've seen that. The villain in that is an Irish cowboy.
Oh.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson, because he said he didn't want to play American. He says, "I'll only do it if I can be an Irish cowboy."
He was Irish in that?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even spot that.
I think he was just doing it.
Sean Connery is Scottish in The Search for Red October. Hunt for Red October. Pop that up, didn't I? Never mind. Move on.
Sean Connery just doesn't bother though. It's like he doesn't even try to get into character. It's just like, no, I'm going to be Sean Connery as Russian submarine commander.
Yeah, why not? Like the thing is, they're all meant to be Russian, but they're all speaking English. So like, you know, come on, guys. So what? You know what? Do your Scottish accent. Stick on another accent. Do your French accent. Do speak backwards Polish. Why not? It's all.
But Gal Gadot could go fuck herself. That's appropriation. I'm joking. That was. I don't see what the problem is with her playing Cleopatra. Anyway.
Oh shit! I did not follow that logical leap at all. I just thought you were mad at Gal Gadot for some reason.
I was in incel territory then for a second.
It doesn't matter.
She won't fuck me. And like that, she won't fuck any of us, Graham.
No,
we've all tried. We've all tried.
Have we?
Our next question.
Sorry.
So, our next question. I was umming and ahhing whether or not to ask this question. It was submitted by long-term viewer Alan Lear. But in light of everything that has been said tonight, I think we have to now ask it, which is, Alan wants to know, in what ways was your ex better than your current partner? This was typed out before we started the show tonight. I do promise you that much. So.
Can you leave the room for a little bit? Thank you, my love. Thank you. She's just heading out.
Okay, fair enough. I'll go first to say in the fact that I can hear some mutterings in the background. That's hilarious. I'm divorced and currently single, so by that law, there are no ways in which my ex is better than my current, because there is no current. So
yeah, same.
Did you just point to your right hand on purpose there, Callum?
No,
right.
I wouldn't dream of it.
No. Graham?
Well, as I mentioned on my own live stream show, quick plug, it's called Booze at 10, where there we go. Look at that. Oh, you had that ready. You sneaky so-and-so.
What a gem.
So that was slick. It was the first episode, and they asked me what I was drinking, and I was drinking a bottle of Thatcher's Katie, and I said that's the only meaningful relationship I'll ever have with a woman. So my current relationship is a brand of cider.
I feel like Alan Lear has massively overestimated the amount of sex comedians have, because you're like, in what way was your ex-partner bold to assume that there's an ex? Bold to assume there's a current partner. Sam is really bucking the trend for that. And the ways that Sam's ex was better than his current partner is that Sam's ex just threw tampons everywhere for him to put over. Like, yeah.
So I'm now seeing as most of us have answered, we're all dying to know, Sam.
Well, Rachel lives in London, so I'd say the way my ex is better than my current was she lived down the road. So if Rachel lived down the road, that would be better.
Bravo for the most diplomatic answer. I think
nice sidestep there. That was
thank you very much.
Well held. Expert. Absolutely.
The temptation to now say something inappropriate is so strong. Absolutely not. She sat right next to me. She's already not pleased that I'm doing this.
Type it in the chat and then we'll read it out, and she will.
Private chat. This is private chat. Yeah. It's okay, Rachel. Only 10 minutes left. Next question from Gary Peterson. He submitted a question. He wants to know: can you invent a word for the awkward feeling when a car stops to let you cross a zebra crossing, but you don't actually want to cross in the first place, and now you feel obliged to do so? So highway code awkwardness.
I would say, can we do like a portmanteau word? Can it be like zibligatory crossing?
Oh,
I was thinking zebra gate.
Yeah. Zibrilligatory. Zibrilligate. Would anyone like to interrupt me? So I'm stuck.
I'd just go with zebragation. Well, that sounds a little bit like
Zebragation. Very, very good.
Yeah.
They do separate black and white as they go across. So
there
that
you
is
go.
Kind of, on
Racial zebragation.
Racial zebragation.
I've bummed myself out with that one.
Is Alex brave enough to put that as the title of the podcast?
Please do. Please.
Racial zebragation. Come on.
Racial zebragation.
Luckily, no bugger listens, so it's not like I'm going to get cancelled. So I'm nowhere near big enough.
To the podcast.
Yes. Hang on, Graham, are you offended by that title?
No.
It's going in then. Okay.
100% of your listenership is on board.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. I polled the audience. This is nice. Any advance on zebragation? I'm not sure that could be topped.
That can't be topped.
I don't know.
No.
I'll be honest, that whole question, the only word I saw was bra. So.
It has been a long time, hasn't it?
Bra?
What's bra?
Oh, for God's sake, in zebra.
Yeah. Zebra.
Were you reading it in a French accent?
Yeah, right?
Zebra.
Zebra.
Oh, what is zebra? And then it's just a zebra. Wow.
Okay. Graham, do you need a hug?
A special kind of hug.
Okay, all right. Group hug, bring it in. Come on, bring it in.
Okay.
There we go. That's better.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That's right. And I love the angle in which Sam's microphone is now peeping forward. Lovely.
Gently resting against that manly bosom.
Nice. Right, so time for a couple more before we finish. So next one, quite a deep and meaningful question submitted from George Coppin. He wants to know, how much money would it take for you to have sex with Darth Vader?
£1.
Yeah, it wouldn't be much. The material I could get out of that.
Yeah.
That's an Edinburgh show in itself, isn't it?
Mask on or off?
Oh, good question.
That's a good question.
I would say he's completely masked, fully clothed. Only thing peeping out is his lightsaber.
If you know what I mean, and that will also cause.
Now, rimshot has a different meaning.
I would take quite a lot of money to have sex with Darth Vader, but that's only because if I'm getting paid for something, I'm going to rinse the most amount of money I can. So I probably wouldn't go below £500 to £1,000, just because I'm like, I could be getting money elsewhere. I feel I'm not drawn to him, but I probably, if you paid me £1,000, I'd be like, yeah, go on.
Do you think he would insist on having the Imperial March playing during?
I would insist on that.
I do insist on that.
Wait, hang on, this way. What? There we go.
That would help you keep pace, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
You just don't want the other one where it goes.
Well,
you will have to go like a hummingbird.
It's here. You don't know what sort of rhythm you might build up together. It's a beautiful thing to share with another person, and when a comedian
is Darth Vader a person?
Yeah,
he's so
he's
half
more machine than man.
He's half person.
Yeah, he is. He's a cyborg towards the end because he got
he's a cyborg.
He got murked by Obi-Wan.
It's in a galaxy a long time ago, far, far away. These are just humanoid-looking things. They're not necessarily people. They make a different name.
What happens on the Death Star stays on the Death Star.
Yeah, but then you're kind of getting into your definition of like what is a person, aren't you, Callum? Because it's kind of like, if they have like a self-awareness, if the way that they interact with the world and define their own kind of self in opposition in relation to the rest of the world, if that mirrors ours, if certainly technically they might not be biologically exactly identical to us. But at a certain point, then people has to kind of move beyond just that definition, and it has to be about beings, really. I guess we're saying beings. Yeah, I would say a beautiful thing between two beings, perhaps. Let's go with
got
that.
deep. That's what Darth Vader said.
Taxonomy. That's all I see.
There we go.
Sorry.
I'm always go off the sound effects page just as somebody releases a zinger.
I'm surprised I haven't got a red card by now, to be honest.
Would Darth Vader insist on you calling him Daddy? So he goes, Luke, I've never seen Star Wars.
It warranted one of them, though.
And also, you kind of bailed on the joke as you were saying it. You were like, would he call you Daddy? Because he says, I'm your...
Yeah.
I am your father.
Maybe you
I
get
know
it.
I'm better than that, but I also know that I'm not.
Yeah.
Simba, you must avenge me. Same bloke. The same bloke.
Same bloke.
Is it?
Yeah, the guy who voiced over Simba's dad is the voice of Darth Vader.
James Earl Jones.
James L. Jones.
And he also used to be the voice of CNN, apparently.
What an interesting CV that man has.
Let's take a moment to consider the CV that man has.
Yeah. I wonder who listened to Star Wars and went, I want him to do CNN. His voice is perfect for that.
Oh, that's the new chicken and egg question. Which came first? CNN or Darth Vader?
We can Google that.
Well, that's a very easily.
CNN or the Empire?
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a
bordering on satire. Nice.
Almost. I did try.
Friday night satire.
Sunday. It's Sunday.
Sunday night satire. Sunday night satire. Yeah. Oh no.
Showbiz.
If you want the letter X, got that on standby as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So is there. I feel that before we wrap up, I just feel the need just fill a bit of time while Sam Googles which came first, CNN or Darth Vader.
Nobody's brought up pegging this episode.
No, that's the gift that keeps on giving. That for want of a better phrase, came up in episode 1. 7 weeks later, it's still been talked about.
I do like that the show's being educational as well. So.
Yeah, we all talked about Sam there.
Star Wars came first.
Hey,
right.
I think actually pegging, because Darth has been quite kind of badly damaged. You know, he's more machine than man.
Literally.
And he's a very powerful person. And they say that, like, if you're a very powerful person, then you're maybe more into getting, like, dominated in, like, a sexual context. So I think he might actually be up for pegging.
Probably got a pegging machine or some sort of attachment that changes part of his suit.
Yeah, that resonates with what Graham was saying earlier about me being a puppet master.
C-3P dildo.
Oh,
is he one of the characters? Version 2 jokes to a film I've not seen.
That's good gags as well. Good gags.
Good work.
So that is about it, ladies and gentlemen. Our hour is almost up for what felt like the most educational time I've had since uni. So before we wrap up and finish, just got to say, if anybody has anything to plug, now is the time. If it is just your own social media handles. Mary, come to you first.
So I do a live stream Choose Your Own Adventure game on Twitch every Sunday at 8 p.m. on twitch.tv/Mazflaz. That's MAZFLAZ. And it will be on every Sunday at 8. So, and you can watch it afterwards. So watch Awkward Question Time live and then watch my stream afterwards. And if you watch it, my stream live, you can join in and you can pick the options and you can help steer the adventure into weird and wonderful places. So that's twitch.tv/Mazflaz.
Excellent. Cool. Excellent. Just for continuity, wear the same thing Sunday night.
You will do.
So it flows. So think, oh, is it live or isn't it? Who knows? Graham, come to you next.
Yes. Well, kind of already did it, but I'm doing Booze at 10. It's supposed to be a topical show where a panel of comedians come on and have a drink and talk about stuff. but lately it's just been about the drinking. It's every Wednesday live at 10 p.m. And we've got another 6 episodes so far booked up with some great comedians coming on. So,
and your producer is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all right.
Fair enough. Callum, even if it is just
so I
social media.
also host a podcast, but that's dying soon. But we're going to do some scripted stuff towards the end, so that'll be good. That's called The Neanderthals.
Don't oversell it.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. Nobody listens, and they're right not to. But I do also do voiceover work, and I've been doing audiobooks. You can find me on Instagram at Callum Jarvis Jones VO if you'd like to hire me. My latest one has been a gay erotica novel. That is not a joke. That is where I am in my life.
Okay, thank you for reading that for me.
I've got some free codes coming your way, Sam.
Nice. Before we come to Sam, can you just give us your best read of This is CNN?
This is CNN.
I'd hire you on that. On the basis of that, that's very good.
That was very good.
Very nice.
As soon as that other Jones dies, that job is mine.
Beautiful. Sam, what do you want to plug?
Go follow me on Instagram, which is at Sam Serrano. It's there. Also on YouTube, I'm Serrano Comedy. I vlog behind the scenes of my gigs and kind of the behind the scenes life of a comedian. And I'm starting up a podcast. We're recording the first episode tomorrow. It's called The Only Social Interaction I Get All Week. And Rachel is going to be the first guest. So if you'd like to hear what she actually sounds like, you can jump onto that.
What do you sound like, Rachel?
Do you want to say hello? Come towards the mic.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Sweetheart. Sounds nice.
Elfin pixie voice.
She does have a. Oh, fuck. What a time. What?
All right.
My mic came unplugged for a bit.
Oh, blimey. Oh, right. It's all right. Okay, so hello. Hello.
Do you want to plug your drawings?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Handy.
Oh,
right.
lovely. That's cool.
She does them. So, what's your Instagram?
It's Rachel.Wonders. I have a photography account as well, which is Rachel Wonders Photography.
Okay. Cool. There we go.
What a little cutie.
Fantastic.
What a little cutie.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
That was very. I feel very wholesome after that. That was nice. That was nice. So
I brought the
you.
tone up considerably. It was
Massively. Despite our best efforts throughout the whole hour. So thank you to my panel: Mary Flanigan, Sam Serrano, Callum, Ellis, Jarvis Jones, and Graham Whistler. So let's see if we can stick around, because we'll have a little chat just before we played the end credits. But that's when I'm going to press stop recording. Thank you if you have been watching us live. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Until the next time, stay.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.